Hi guys! Hello! Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy that I can jump on here. I know that I have been literally MIA for the past 6 months. The last time that I was on here and uploaded a video, it was, I think, September. And for those of you who are new to my channel, who don't know the situation, I was diagnosed with stage 3 triple negative breast cancer. And that was back in June of 2022. And it hit me out of the blue. I had no idea that I would be facing anything like that this year or last year. And it kind of threw a wrench, in my life. So I decided to start journaling and start, creating a video to kind of like share my story in hopes that I could help anyone else out there who might be going through the same situation, whether, just starting going through the process or has been through the process. Knowledge is power. And so I decided to start a channel and kind of talk about my journey and the whole situation. This is the second time that I've had breast cancer. I had breast cancer when I was 30 years old. So that was 22 years ago. And then it's come back. It's a completely different type of cancer, even though it is in the same breast. So I wanted to pop on here. I didn't want you guys to think that I abandoned my channel or that you're wondering what's going on, I really appreciate all of your concern, all of your messages. And I was just going through it. And so I was offline for quite some time. So I wanted to bring you guys up to speed because a lot has happened. And I wanted to bring you guys up to speed. So as you can see, I have a little bit of hair now. My last video, I was completely bald. I had no hair. I had no eyebrows. I had no eyelashes. I literally had no hair anywhere. And that's because I was in the trenches of my chemotherapy. And obviously with chemotherapy, most people definitely lose their hair. And that definitely happened for me. I started losing chunks. And then I decided, one of my videos, if you go back to it, I decided to just go to Walmart and have them buzz it. So got it taken right off. And then eventually I lost my eyebrows and my eyelashes and all of that good stuff. So the last video that I did, I shared with you that I was in a lot of pain. I was just so sick. And so what happened is I had 3 months of chemotherapy that was once a week for 12 weeks. And then I had an additional 3 months of immunotherapy, which is basically having, it's a form of chemo, but it works in addition with chemotherapy. So together, I had that therapy, but what immunotherapy does is it kind of allows your body to fight on its own. Sorry, I'm getting like an air pocket in my rib. I hate when that happens. I need to stretch it out. It's literally like an air pocket under my rib cage. Okay, all good. So immunotherapy allows my body to kind of have the power to fight the cancer cells that are in my body. It kind of helps me fight. But it also, in addition to that, still makes you feel super sick. It's done through intravenous. So basically, I had 6 months of cancer treatment. We'll wrap it up and say that. I have 6 months of cancer treatment that completed in December. And I have to say that the 6 months of treatment was absolutely brutal. I was extremely sick during chemotherapy. It was once a week. And I was literally sick from the time that I had the treatment. It would hit me in the afternoon. Like if I went to treatment in the morning, by the time I got home, I'd start to feel a little, icky. And by late afternoon, I would just be so sick. And so for the next 5 days, I would feel like garbage. And I would have 2 days of starting to, feel okay again. and then it would be back on to the IV and have treatment again. So weekly treatment was really, really hard on me. Hence the reason that I kind of gave up updating my channel, because I just did not have the strength and I was just too sick. So yeah, in December, I completed all 6 months and I was super happy because it happened early December. And so I was able to enjoy my Christmas with my family without being sick and feeling gross. I still felt, not myself, but I had a good 3 weeks to kind of be weaned off of the chemo and kind of, get it out of my system, or start to get it out of my system and feel a little bit more like myself. So my Christmas was really good. I enjoyed it with my family. It was quiet. My sister hosted it this year, which was amazing of her and my brother-in-law, because usually I host it with my husband and everybody comes over to our house. But this year was not the time for that. So I'm really glad that she offered instead, and we had all of our family go to her place, and it was awesome. It was awesome. I had a great time. So that was the whole chemotherapy side. In early January, I was booked for a bilateral surgery, breast reduction, or breast removal, sorry. So bilateral meaning both. And I was booked to go in, and I had them both removed. And I was in hospital for 5 days. And my stay in hospital was extremely painful, as you can imagine. But what happened was the procedure that I have, because you're probably thinking, you said you had them removed, but you still have breasts. Yes. So what I did was I had the bilateral breast removal, but I had the DIEP surgery, what they call DIEP surgery. And what that is that they basically remove the entire breast tissue, but they keep, I guess, the outline of your breast, the outer parts of your breast, and remove the breast tissue that's inside. Then they take your stomach and they cut you below the belt, which is like usually, it's the exact same type of cut that you would have if you had a hysterectomy or if you had cesarean section from delivering a child. So they cut you there, but they take a piece of your stomach. So basically you're getting a tummy tuck for free. And what they do is, with the piece of stomach that they've taken, they divide that. In my case, they divided it, and they pretty much used it as breast tissue up here. So they reconstructed my breast in the exact same surgery that they removed it. And so it was like a 2-for-1. The reason that I chose to do that, because I was actually quite content not having reconstructive surgery and just having them removed. I was perfectly fine with doing that. But the doctors explained to me, what the DIEP was and what the whole procedure was like. And I absolutely did not want any kind of implants, because I previously did a reconstructive with a silicone implant in the breast that had cancer years ago, when I did the rebuild. And I didn't want any kind of silicone or anything put back into my breast, because part of the problem was that when I went for my mammogram last year, the imaging did not pick up any of the tumors that I had in my breast. And a big part of that was because I had the implant. And so the positioning of the implants were kind of hiding behind my tumors were hiding behind the implant. And so why would I have cancer for the second time and put silicone back in my body for a second time? Not happening. So anyway, I kind of went with this one because it was my own body. They explained that it was, your own body. It's not breast tissue. So it has no milk ducts. It has no kind of breast tissue. It's basically your stomach. If you gain weight, it gains weight with you. If you lose weight, it loses weight with you. It's just part of your body. And so I felt okay going along with that procedure, but it was very difficult. The healing process was very difficult, not going to lie. I had a bunch of tubes, of course, that were attached and draining. So draining all the blood and draining all the things that needed to get out of me. So that was on me for about 2 weeks post-surgery. And I had them removed as the fluids coming out got lesser and lesser. They had to be like a certain amount. and then I can get them taken out. So I had that taken out. So the surgery in itself, my breasts are, I guess they're breasts. They're nothing to write home about. They look okay in clothing, more for cosmetic reasons, I think, is the reason that I did it. Because if I'm wearing a blouse, you know, it looks like I have breasts. I was more than happy, though, to have them removed and just wear a bra with fillers. I mean, I really didn't care, to be quite honest. It was neither here nor there. But regardless, I did do the surgery. I'm okay with the results. They are not even. They are, you know, one of them has a little bit of, if I show you here, not this is where I have my treatments. But if you look here, I'll share a little bit with you. I do have a lot of fluid still in this one. So the fluid is built up quite a bit. And there's a dimple in here, which shouldn't be here. So a lot of that is constantly massaging still. I have to do a lot of massaging on the breast, and I have to make sure that I do my stretches. The one that did have the cancer, I was cut here and lymph nodes were taken out to be tested. So being cut here for the second time, there was a period of time that I couldn't even lift my hand more than here. It was just too painful. But they gave me exercises that needed to be done, and I had to do them, because if I didn't, I would literally heal that way, you know, with my arm unable to be lifted over my head. And so it took a long time for me to be able to start raising my hand over my head, you know, and pulling back and doing all kinds of exercises. So what I did was, through the pain of it all, you know, you got to push through, right? So I'm very capable now of doing all kinds of things. In fact, I have picked up Pilates, which is a lot of stretching and a lot of just slow motion, which is great. So yeah, my movement is much better. I feel good. It's still tender in the breast, but it's getting better and better every day. So I can't complain about that. So the surgery itself, I believe, was a success. So after surgery, they waited about 5 weeks, and then I began radiation therapy. So currently, that is what I'm doing. I'm in radiation therapy right now. I'm going to have 15 treatments, which is 3 weeks, and I'm actually in my 3rd week of radiation right now, so yay. We're going to go through every day, so it's every day, Monday to Friday, no weekends. And the reason that she shrunk it is because I was actually supposed to be in radiation for 5 weeks, 5 times a day, but they shrunk the time to 3 weeks and kind of increased the dosage. So basically, with the type of cancer that I have, triple negative is not a great breast cancer to have. I mean, no breast cancer is good to have, but triple negative is very difficult to treat. And it is only responsive to chemotherapy. With chemotherapy and then immunotherapy, they have the highest chance of fighting the cancer and of killing the cancer cells. And so really that's the only way that they have currently of treating triple negative breast cancer. It doesn't work with hormone therapy. If you have the HR or the H2 hormone, a lot of women typically have that type of cancer that they can treat it with hormone. Triple negative breast cancer does not react to that, unfortunately. It's a very aggressive type of cancer. It's a very difficult cancer to treat, and they haven't come up with, I guess, any real powerful ways of dealing with until now. So what's happening is after I complete my radiation treatment, which is going to be in the next week, there is a 2 or 3 week period that I'm going to wait. But in the meantime, I have been strongly suggested by my oncologist to go on a study. And this study is actually really exciting because it is a study that I could be involved in to test the new medication or the new treatments for triple negative breast cancer. And so this is a study that I'm hoping that I get to take part in, because I actually do have to qualify in order to do it. So there's a series of tests that I need to go through. I need to do an echocardiogram. I need to do CT scans. I need to do a whole bunch of other things. And the reason that I'm being asked to be in this study and to do this additional chemotherapy is because at the time that I had my bilateral breast removal, I still had tumors. So there are 2 out of 4 of the tumors that were in my breast that were completely gone, and the remaining 2 had shrunk a lot, and but were still present. So at the time that they removed the breast and sent it off to pathology, this was what was advised, is that I was not cancer-free. And so because of that, after radiation therapy, they have strongly suggested that I go into the study for additional safety guard, as far as having a less chance of having the cancer reoccur, or having a better chance, let's say, of it not reoccurring. So basically what's happened is when they removed it, they sent it off to pathology. They realized that the cancers, 2 of the tumors were still there. As small as they were still there. They hope that radiation is killing it off, and I hope so too. But in addition to that, I do need to have additional chemotherapy treatment. So rather than having the standard chemotherapy treatment, the standard care, which would be very similar to the first chemo that I took, they are trying to put me on this trial. So it's going to be very interesting. I'm excited but super nervous about doing it because there's really no guarantees. In addition to that, I know how chemotherapy made me feel. It is horrible. And, there are a lot of things that I went through when I was having chemo that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. And so I do have, I guess, anxiety when I think about the way that I could be feeling. But at the same time, if I do the study and I respond to the study well, then my survival rate over 5 years goes from 62% to 84%. So with those, I really can't not try. I need to do everything that I can do in order to survive, in order to be here for my family, for my friends, to live my life the best that I can. And so I will take part in the study as long as I am accepted, and hopefully all of my tests come back and they're good and they accept me on this. So that's what it's going to be over the next few weeks. So I'm excited, and we will wait and see what happens. In the meantime, I have to say that it's definitely been a journey. I'm going to share some photos with you that I've took along the way, but it's definitely been a journey. I have had so much support from my family, from my friends. They have just been amazing. I've had so much support from you guys. A lot of you have, contacted me and just to make sure that I'm okay and what's going on. And I'm so, so grateful and so appreciative. And so at this point, the cancer journey continues. I wish that I could say that I am cancer free, but I know that I will be, because I believe. But I'm just keeping, I'm pushing forward. And so my hair has started to grow. I have my brows back. I have eyelashes underneath. So when I do my makeup, I can at least do my eyelashes underneath with mascara. But things are starting to feel okay. Like I'm starting to feel like myself again. And so another part of that is knowing that if I have to go back into chemotherapy, I'm going to get sick again. I'm going to start feeling, not myself. But it's something that has to be done. It's all part of the journey. So at the end of this video, I'm going to put out some photos of along the way of how I went through certain things. There was a lot of things, like I lost my nails, some of them. A lot of crazy stuff that happens when you're on treatment for cancer. But anyway, I wanted to touch base with you guys, let you know that I'm still here. I'm still pushing through. I appreciate all of you guys, and I will update you on the next video. You guys stay fly. Thanks for popping in. Talk to you soon.